Welcome everybody. What's up, TJ? How you doing, brother? Damn, we are going to be doing our first podcast here. It's actually going to be kind of interesting. I won't be focused very heavily on the chat, but we will definitely be doing a lot of talking. I did limit it to followers and supporters only. So only followers and supporters should be talking. Maybe it's only supporters. It might only be supporters. Rip. But this will be a good discussion, a lot of cool stuff, and I will be uploading this to YouTube as well. And we'll be starting up this new kind of thing. I think it might start a little trend. Hopefully we'll see what happens. But I think the podcast thing will be a lot of fun. People will enjoy what we talk about. So if you are a supporter, you will have access to talking here. If you do not, I don't know if I can change that mid. Let me change that to. Let me see if here we go. It should be on followers, restricted, and slow. There we go. There we go. That's better. Now you guys should be able to talk. Keep the discussion kind of positive because we're going to be going back and forth. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but keep the discussion kind of cool. I'm just a follower and I'm here. Okay, good. Good. I opened it up so followers, they might have to turn it off actually, the way they had it. For supporters only. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Yeah, hell yeah. What I'm talking about. Yo, Bobby with the 4 months. Thank you very much, brother. Like I said, I will not be focused on my chat, on my alerts. I will be focused on talking to these guys and getting into some serious discussion. So we're rolling in about 4 minutes now. I think we'll be good. I wish we could daisy chain our streams, but I don't think it's possible to do that. As far as I know, you can't. If it is, we'll have to work on that soon. But right now, I don't know anything about that. So what's good, baby? What's the podcast topics? So there's 2 topics we're going to have, 2 or 3 topics kind of. One of them is going to be especially specifically followers and viewer hacks that other small streamers that we're noticing are doing. And it's been getting a little bit of I don't even know how to describe it. Just keep focused on what we're talking about whenever we get into it, because we'll kind of describe exactly what we saw and what was going on. And then we're also going to go into a Call of Duty blackout and the future of Call of Duty blackout for streamers and how that's going to work, and what our opinions on that is, and then possibly getting to I think it'll kind of just break off from what we're talking about, but rating small streamers and stuff like that too. And we'll get into it. So be a few things, man. Thank you for the 1,000 stars, bro. Kelvin Green coming in high, man. Much love to you, brother. Appreciate that. Eric, thank you for the 100 stars, my guy. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Donovan, Mr. SOT Boogie, thank you for the 4 months. Mary with the share. Appreciate you guys. All right, let me see what these guys are up to, if they're ready to go. Here. Okay. What's good? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. All right. So what we have here is the beginning of our first podcast. Hey, you never know. In like years time, this will be like a crazy looking stream that we'll have, but it won't look like this. I guarantee it. So I'm gonna turn my notifications off because they're popping up on my screen over people's faces and stuff. So let me just do that. Stream. All right, and we're gonna be good. All right. So the first topic that we're gonna get it started with, and we all have seen this. It's been something that we've all sat around for hours talking about and trying to figure out exactly what it is that people are doing. And it's gonna be a little controversial for smaller streamers, especially if you're doing it. But essentially, the first thing we're going to talk about is the viewers and the follower hacks. Essentially, people that are just basically buying their way into followers, 5, 10, 15, 20,000 followers overnight. And we're seeing this kind of trend with smaller streamers that are not really going anywhere or having a hard time getting their foot up and running. And the first thing we wanted to do is kind of break into this with a little bit of a controversial topic. So essentially what we're going to do is probably ruffle feathers, but that's okay, because realistically what's going on is not good. And we want to figure out what the deal is and why it is that they're doing what they're doing. trying to take shortcuts and stuff like that. So I'll let Primetime, because I know he's very opinionated on this one for sure. I'll let him start it. Get into it. So let's do it.
So we've all seen it, right? We all seen an account that has 15 or 20,000, but only hold 20 CCV or 25 CCV or whatever it is, and it just doesn't make sense when you look at other streamers who have 20,000 or 25,000 followers and they hold 200, 300 CCV, and you realize something doesn't add up, and then you scroll through their page and you look at their videos and you see, they've always only ever got a couple hundred of views. They never really had the 30,000 view videos, the 20,000 view videos, and it just doesn't make sense. And the thing, like Yuppie stated and J Money stated, is we can tell when you buy followers, because when you buy followers, you also get likes. So when you see somebody with a 20,000 follower account, they usually got about close to 20,000 likes, and that's just not the case, right? Yuppie, what is your like count right now? And you have 40,000?
I think it's like 8,000 something to, it's like a 1-to-4 ratio.
So you have 40,000 followers and 8,000 likes.
Right.
But your CCV is typically 3, 4, 5, even up to a K.
Right.
So it doesn't add up. And what people are doing is they're trying to buy the follows to trick people into thinking, oh, they're this big streamer. Oh man, this guy has 20,000 follows. Let me click on his page. Let me watch him. Because it's that gimmick where, hey, I'm someone, man. I have 20,000 follows. You should watch me. Because that's usually what it is a lot. You see a lot of people who click on pages. Oh, this guy's got 20,000 followers. Let me check him out. And it's the same thing with the views. It's the same thing with the views. Is when you're holding 3, 4, 5 views. I know not a lot of people come in and check you out because people do think like, oh, this guy's a nobody. Opposed to someone who's holding 5, 6, 700 views. Oh man, this guy's got to be somebody. Let me click on that. So, and it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. People are trying to trick others into, hey man, I'm someone. I have all these views and follows. Come check me out.
Right. You'll see,
and it's wrong.
You'll see specifically people that are struggling to actually get their foot off the ground. And the problem is like, if you're having a hard time building your own community, you're basically taking a shortcut. And a lot of people lie about it. And there's a reason that they lie about it. Because I've asked people specifically, how'd you get your followers? What's going on? I mean, you go from 2,000 follows to 12, 15,000 overnight. We get it, man. Like, we know what's going on. You know what I mean? So I'm going to ask you specifically. And most of the people that I've asked specifically, I felt like have lied about it. Some of them were pretty upfront about it, but it's not good. I don't think it's good for the community. I mean, it is what it is. It's not like hurting anybody. Your camera's messing up, by the way. Prime. Just put your hand up to the thing like this and see if that fixes it. And maybe not. But yeah, it's definitely an issue in the community. And now lately what we've been seeing is people having upwards of like 200, 300, 400, 800 viewers. And that's a whole nother ball game, because that to me is actually stepping on smaller streamers' toes. If you ask me, like, that's a big problem. And I know Thunder Rooster knows a little bit more about that topic and how that how they're doing that. I know you've done a little research, so
yeah, it's really simple. There's third-party websites where you could go and you can either pay monthly, you can pay daily, you can pay hourly, you can buy follows, you can buy views, you can buy donations, basically prepay for donations, and most of the time it's relatively inexpensive. So it's easy. It's really, really easy, and it's extremely tempting, especially when you're in a hard time or a hard period or the beginning phases, because it's frustrating as crap. But it's extremely easy. $100 a month gets you 100 follows per stream, and for the whole month, every stream. It's literally that simple.
And it breaks the smaller streamers, because you have to think like, you got your picnics, you got your Y8s that naturally hold that many viewers. When somebody else comes in and they're just jacking up, 300-400 viewers, they're sitting at almost the top of the line. When people come to watch you, they're sitting there trending. You know what I mean? And the ones who should be like getting growth because they're doing it the real way or the right way are basically stepping on their toes, if you ask me. So that kind of sucks for smaller streamers. and it sucks for people trying to come up and build their own community because technically they're basically sucking up all the views and all the actual viewership, whether they're getting the likes and the follows or stuff. It's kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
They actually end up like hindering themselves even more than anyone else.
Bro, your camera is freaking out. You got a whole freak show going on down there.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like an alien.
Who, me again?
Yeah, bro. You're the only one with the camera issue, man.
I don't know, bro.
But no, they
Rooster,
actually
you're not
end up
talking.
Huh?
He's talking to his chat.
Oh.
Ross is talking. You're good. Go ahead.
They actually
Yeah, I'm talking about chat. My bad.
hindering themselves because honestly, like, all right, so they'll pay for this stuff, right? They'll pay for views, they'll pay for followers, and I guess like that's new to me. That the fact that you could like prepay for donations just for it to pop up on stream, that's actually like pretty sad. But
Yeah, I didn't know about
what
that.
it is people get stuck in this this small streamer mindset of I'm comfortable where I am, so I'm not gonna put in the extra work to justify what I have. And what I mean by that is I've watched so many streamers for like months since when they started to now, and I can literally probably like name on one. I can like count on one finger how many upgrades, like actual upgrades that I can see from my perspective. I'm not talking about them buying an extra monitor or something that helps them. Things that actually bring out the quality of their stream. I can probably name on count on one hand how many of those you actually seen from like smaller streamers. So the people buying these followers, buying these viewers, they're just attracting people to the stream just for people to see how like actually dull it is, you know?
Yeah, and it's dumb. It's actually it's regressive for the community. I mean, if you ask me, it's not positive. You know what I mean? And at the same time, it's like I think the real question is, should we care? And is it hurting anybody? Is it really actually pushing anybody else out? You know what I mean? There's some streamers that have been streaming for as long as me and Rasta have, and they've gone, they've only got like a couple thousand followers at this point. They've gone mostly nowhere, right? Like they're still kind of moving forward, but not at the rate that we did, especially Rasta. Rasta blew up, right? So like, what are they doing wrong? And is it what they're doing like now? Is that like an issue? Is that going to break smaller streamers? Is that going to be an issue in the future? Or, is it, who cares? Like, should we not really care? Like, what do you think? Like prime time, what do you think about?
I mean, I don't necessarily say that I care because it doesn't directly impact me. It doesn't directly impact me. It doesn't impact Ross. It doesn't impact Yuppie.
Does it impact smaller streamers?
It does though, because the truth of the matter is you do have, now that Facebook gaming is becoming so much more relevant in just on Facebook alone itself. People like you had a lot of people when I first started I didn't even know there was even this thing of Facebook gaming. I didn't even realize what that button was on the bottom of my phone. And now you have a lot of these people who are actually scouring through and like, I want to check out new streamers. And when you do have someone that is view buying 150, 200 views, whatever it is that the case may be, it does attract people to their stream based on that. And it makes them want to click and see what this person is about. Not a natural, hey man, I have a natural 100 people in here because I've built this great community that enjoys my content. And now other people also want to see what I'm about. I agree with Rasta. At the end of the day, it probably is not going to help them like in this huge amount by view buying, even if people do click on the stream and say, hey, I want to check this guy out. He's got 500 views. Because when they do go in the stream, they're going to just see how dull and like,
right.
Why is this guy?
They're not going to get the real follows anyways. They're going to get fake follows.
But at the end of the day, though, everybody else is doing it naturally, right? Whether someone is going to follow or not, someone's going to send a like, a share, some stars, whatever it may be. It's still natural. And what happens is that time that that person's in that stream, checking them out and doing all that interaction, they could be doing it with someone else who is more deserving because they're putting in the hours and they have the good content and they have the good quality stream, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not saying we necessarily should care about it, but it is a problem. It is a problem, and it's not fair to small streamers who are busting their butt and grinding to get that traffic, because it does take away from traffic from them.
And Rooster's a good example because he's grinded his ass off. I've watched him stream goddamn 48-hour streams sometimes. You know, like he's really kicked his like he streamed more than I have. Like the hours that he has is probably like double mine, honestly.
And it's really not required. And aside from that, what I do, it won't work for everybody. Just streaming for 40 hours straight is not going to produce views, follows, anything for everybody who does it. It's just been my thing. Like from the beginning, when I started streaming, one of my main goals was to break the world record for the longest stream.
I remember that. Yeah,
so it kind of just is what I do. It doesn't mean it's going to work for the next person, but in streaming, you are expected. I mean, just to become level up, you're expected to stream a certain amount of hours within a certain amount of time. So the grind is part of it, and it is a grind. And dude, it sucks to sit there for 12 hours with one person in your chat. I get it. I've done it over and over and over and over until one becomes two, becomes four, becomes many, and it makes it so much more worth it when you just do it and it becomes yours and you own it and you know that you built that on your own. The question that's asked here,
hey, Tony,
my opinion, it's just my opinion.
Go fuck yourself.
It's going back to follow for follow on Twitch, YouTube. It's not something that we're going to stop. Like whether we care or don't care, it's irrelevant because it's going to continue to happen. People are always going to do it. We can't like make it illegal. So it's going to keep happening.
No, it's not illegal. Is it immoral though? Like, is it something that we as people who have kind of we're looking kind of back, right? And we're like, look where we started, right? I never thought about doing that. I mean, we looked at it, it's like, what are you really going to gain from that? You're not gaining real, like they are real followers in the end, I guess. They're not people that are going to be part of your community. They're not actual wholesome people that are going to come back, watch you again and again and keep your numbers up. It's not going to work like that, right?
Right. Like you might get the affiliation from it. You might get the level up from it. A couple donations here and there. But you're not going to make a career out of it by buying anything.
I'll comment on that because actually Twitch just put it in terms of service against follow for follows, lurking, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually like outlined that and specifically stated that they don't support it.
Well, I was going to ask about that because I know Twitch, what's their,
awesome.
What is there a way to actually do the same thing that people are doing on Facebook that you can do on Twitch? Is there like a third party?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured.
That's where I was first approached about it. And you start getting emails and messages and phone calls at a certain point.
Right.
Directly from the people that are just like, there's individuals that sell these packages basically. So,
yeah.
And I'm not I don't know who's done what or anything like that. I'm not personally, attacking anybody. It's obvious that it's happening.
What are you gonna say, Russ?
Sucks.
I just don't want to start a trend where one person's view buying and they see them 600, 700, 800 followers, and then it starts this trend where all these small streamers like, man, I only got 1, 2, 3 people in here. Oh, maybe I should do that too. Look at all this attention that this person's getting. I'm gonna start doing it. And this person. Then you have a group of people, 5, 10, whatever it is, who are all doing this, and it's it's gonna a roller coaster effect, and you're gonna end up eventually seeing more and more people do it if we don't talk about it. You know,
the thing is what you're gonna end up seeing is you're gonna see Facebook's gonna catch on to it if they haven't already. They're pretty smart. I'm sure they have good IT people and good algorithm watchers and whatnot, and they're gonna start seeing like, oh, this guy had 800 followers last week. He's got this many. He used this. Why wouldn't he be buying views? Like, why does he have 600 people in there now? And a consistent 6. It's not like it goes up. You know, you play Blackout, you know how the views work. Like, you're sitting at 60, 70. Oh, you're getting late game. Now you're top 10 situation. Those numbers go up. That's actual, like, people
Absolutely.
checking you out because they're like, oh, shit, this guy, you know, he could win.
Yep.
And I mean, I've done it for almost a year now. I know exactly what it looks like. Everybody in here knows what it looks like. When you lose or when you win, when the game's over, your numbers go back down. You lose sometimes 150. Ask Picnic. He probably loses 500 viewers at that
Right.
point. You know what I mean? Like, ask him.
I used Picnic during the Alcatraz tournament. He had 1.6K. They beasted up and had a amazing game. At the end of the game, before they were even backed out into the lobby, he was down to 900.
Right.
Like, that's 700 viewers. Just
Boom.
gone.
Yep.
You're gonna have fluctuation.
It doesn't seem like when I watch Twitch streamers, though, it doesn't seem like it does that. It fluctuates a lot harder on Facebook. It seems like if you're playing games on Twitch, it seems like the numbers stay pretty steady. I mean, that's probably because I watch bigger streamers and a lot of their numbers don't really fluctuate low. Like, a lot of them will actually stay.
Facebook has a lot of multitasking going on. You know, I mean, there's other things that you can do between games on Facebook without leaving Facebook, and get right back to the stream by the time the next game starts.
Yeah.
And typically those numbers do come back. At least majority of them do come back. You know, at least a few seconds into the next game.
I also think when you're watching Twitch, I think when you close out on it to like do something else on your phone, I think it keeps it open in the background. It still counts you as a viewer.
It does.
If you're technically still tuned in.
Twitch and YouTube both do that.
Yeah, so and I think when you once on Facebook, once you like close out of it, it stops
Oh.
counting you as a viewer.
That's pretty cool.
Um,
Prime your camera again.
but also,
That's all good.
also,
Hey, that actually worked.
I,
Kind of, not really. Never mind.
I'll say this about streaming in general, and not just specifically Facebook. Follow for follows, that share for share, that lurk and shit. That shit doesn't work. That shit is a terrible concept.
It
Follow
is.
for follow, yeah.
One of the worst practices that I've ever seen in streaming. Now, I'm actually in a Twitch follow for follow group just because
Yeah.
it's entertaining to me. It just see that, and I like to actually comment on some of them and be like they're always posting, oh, there's 31,000 people in here. That means I should have 31,000 followers. Yeah, if you think that's how it works.
No, because
Yeah.
it's like Instagram follow for follows. What'll end up happening is people go through and they'll clear out the people that they're following. Like, you'll end up you end up losing half of them anyways if you continue to hold the follow. It's actually kind of a dumb practice, like you said. It's actually trash.
It is.
Like,
I
it
agree.
doesn't
It's the
it
dumbest
doesn't
thing
help
I've ever heard.
anybody. It's not like, but I mean, that's not on Facebook, thankfully. So that's a Twitch thing. So we don't have to-
There are groups there. I'm part of some of the smaller
Oh, I'm
Facebook
sure,
gaming
yeah.
groups, and they do a lot of the follow for follows. And I like Rostock. It's
Silly,
kind
yeah.
of fun. It's like it really is funny. It's like if you're not doing it organically at the end of the day, if you're not bringing in natural viewers and they're not staying because of their own will, they're not coming back because they want to see more. It honestly is not going to help you at the
No.
end of the day, and it's just not.
and you're doing it wrong. I mean, if you're not keeping
Yeah.
them around, if people don't know your name or they come in once and they leave, you're doing something wrong. And I think that the main success that me and Rasta had earlier was that we continued to grow the quality of our stream. I mean, look at fucking Ross's camera now. Look at his backdrop. Like, that's not how he started. My man started with a fake green screen when every time he hit his vape, it would turn fucking green behind him. It was hilarious. This man came from nothing to, I mean, what you're seeing right there. It's crazy. So, I mean, we continued to grow our stream. The quality of our stream went up, and we knew, like, all right, we need to go to the next level of this. Our opener screen needs to change. This needs to change. You know, the quality. Now we have a DSLR camera. Like, it's like everything else that we changed and grew with, they didn't. And people that are stuck at 1,000, stuck at 2,000, and they're just kind of slowly going up, they're sticking to the same games. You know, they have the same viewers every day, and they're not trying to better their quality of their stream. And it's a harsh reality. It's probably kicking the nuts, but there's a lot of people that need to take a look at themselves and re-better their stream, because in my opinion, you're not going to go anywhere. You'll be here in a 2, 3, 4 years doing the same shit, starting up your stream just to play the game, and you're not going to have, it's just not going to, it's not going to work out.
and the truth of the matter is, when you talk about reality, at the end of the day, and this is what I've said this a million times. I ate earlier about this. At the end of the day, the truth of the matter is not everybody's going to be a full-time streamer.
No,
That's
not
I
everybody
understand
needs to be
everybody
one.
would love to. I understand that everybody probably would love to do this as their job every day, all day long. But for some people, no, not even some, for most people, unfortunately, this will be nothing but a hobby. Yeah, you can make an extra few bucks a month off of income from this. Absolutely. You get to have fun with other streamers, play with them. You get to have fun talking to your community, your chat. Absolutely. But unfortunately, there's different groups, and not everybody will, no matter whether they change their camera and they bump this up and they do that, not everybody is going to make it as a full-time streamer. And people need to understand that. And I think they should have a goal and a timeline set out for themselves to become so. And if they don't hit it by that point,
Well,
I'm not saying don't continue to grind, but you should probably start, and that's what he said, like, maybe you need to change something. Maybe you need to do this and like try all these things. But at some point, you're going to come to a realization that you just may not be meant to do this full time.
and I never recommend anybody quit their job for this unless you're absolutely on fire, dude. Like, don't quit your job to do this unless you're just crazy growing. I mean, like next level. I'm not gonna name any names, but damn, dude. Like, if you just are like, holy crap, it's time to change. It's time to quit the job. It's time to move on. It's like everybody's goal, but don't set your goal too early. Make sure you're doing the right thing because this could easily fall off tomorrow. You know what I mean? Next year you could be plateaued out and going nowhere, and you just quit a good job for nothing. So it's never a good idea.
It's kind of crazy to me because, like, honestly, like me, I'm not full time, but I feel like even if I wasn't in the military, I still, where I am, wouldn't be in a position to say, okay, I can go full time streaming. Like, I don't even think, like, if I got out the military tomorrow, that I could rely on streaming to hold me down full time. That's just me personally. I don't see how people start and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just be full time streaming.
You also live in California though. It's very expensive.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I was kind of blessed. Like, my wife has a really good job. We decided to go travel. I started this as a hobby, and to be honest with you, like, I've been kind of lucky. Like, and I can use this for the most part now as a full time job. But who knows in 3 years? Oh man, it's tripping out down there, by the way.
I will say this. All right.
All you guys are fine on my screen.
Your shit sucks. All right. But I will say this. People who go into streaming expecting to get anything out of it are the people who will fail. I'm going to say whatever you think you're capable of as a streamer, however good you think you are, take half of that. And that's how good you actually are.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Like, I got a lot of people coming inboxing me, be like, yo, I'm good at the game. I feel like I got a great personality, this, and that. Why am I not? Why am I stuck? Because you see your potential at 100%. Now, your actual potential right now, or what you're actually giving out, is 50% of that. Now, you're probably asking why. Why is that the case? It's part of the business.
It's a show, man.
You are not as good as you think you are.
You're either not entertaining or you're not as good at the game. You have to have something to offer people that watch you. If you don't have that, you're not going to go anywhere, and you're not going to know why, because nobody's going to really tell you, because it's only up to you to figure it out. That's it.
Exactly. 100%. And everybody wants to go to somebody else for a handout, thinking they want to come to one of us, be like, hey, can you share me out? Can you, you know, can you give me some pointers? There's nothing I can personally do that'll help your stream get off the ground. Like, bro, I can play with Ninja every day. That don't mean my stream gonna go anywhere. I mean, granted, that's probably a bad example.
You get a few follows, but I mean, it's not like you're gonna
every day.
Yeah. Well, that kind of goes into the next topic too, the rating small streamers that Rooster brought up, and I'll let him kind of start in on it because he was kind of wanting to bring it up anyways. But essentially, you know, rating small streamers and rating bigger streamers, like using your own name inside their chat, that kind of stuff, as far as like using your gaming page, walking in, you know, with this, that, and, you know, it's like, hey, I'm going in as Yuppie Killer into this bigger streamer and kind of like holding down their chat. It's like, is that okay? You know, is that all right? Like, should we be doing that, or is it kind of like you're self promoting yourself in their chat? Is it rude to do that? You know, is it disrespectful to that streamer and their chat and their audience? You know, what do you think? Go ahead, Rooster.
So I came from YouTube and Twitch, and self promotion is heavily on over there. Um, Facebook has kind of opened doors and windows and bits and pieces here and there for it to happen, and for us to not really be able to control it a whole lot. But like I sent these guys a video today. It's Harris Heller. He's a Twitch streamer. He also does a lot of streamer help videos, and like he said, and Rasta pretty much just said the exact same thing. You are responsible for your growth. Nobody else. I can't build your stream for you. Nobody else can. I can come in there every day. We can play together every day. I can't make your stream grow. You are responsible for your growth. When you raid the same streamer every single day, just to get your name out there, or if Rasta rated me every single day, it wouldn't matter if he rated me with 500 viewers every day. If we're not on the same plane, I'm not going to benefit from it. I might pick up a few followers here and there, but I'm not going to continue to grow from Rasta's family coming every day. Eventually, it's just going to stop. So you have to network. You have to find the people that you are, able to collaborate with and things like that. And those are the people that you raid. Those are the people that you want to raid you. Yeah, it's awesome when Rosto or Picnic or some of these bigger guys raid you and big numbers. It's great. It's awesome. It's an amazing feeling. Cried my eyes out a couple times. But ultimately, it's not going to make or break my channel. It's not going to make or break your channel. It's a great feeling for us too, for you to be so appreciative, or for me to be so appreciative, or whoever. But ultimately, it's not doing anything for either person.
Well, I'll add in a little bit, because when me and Rasta started, like we were around like I think 2,000-3,000 followers, and the first time we played with each other, like we promoted each other in our own streams. It was like, hey, go check out Rasta, man. We're playing together. We're having fun. We're sitting here getting wins all night. We had a lot of fun together. We did that for a few days actually, and I think that really helped us out, because people that were hanging out in my stream started to go hanging out with him, and then they come back, vice versa. And I think early on we probably maybe got like 3,000 or 4,000 follows off of just kind of promoting each other alone. Like it was kind of crazy. And obviously Rasta took off, and he was at 20,000. I stuck, I was still about 7 or 8. So I mean, in the end, it wasn't like that actually determined like how big we were going to get. It was just something that kind of helped boost us a little bit early, but it was something that we mutually did together. And it was like we muted out and told our audiences that it was like we physically wanted our people to go over, get them a follow, go over there, show them some love. And it worked. I mean, it definitely helped out a lot. You don't see that a lot I've actually never seen anybody else do that. And it doesn't need to be done, but it definitely does help a little bit. But as far as trying to raid people every day, I've had people say that they basically made my career because they raided me 2 or 3 times. And it's like, you don't have that power. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, even Ninja would, with one or 2 raids, wouldn't get me on the level that he's at, right? It's just not possible. So, I mean, Primetime's a good example, because he decided early on, and I remember seeing him before I even liked him. And actually, I didn't really like him at all when I saw him do this, but like, I respected the fact that he was like, I'm not going to reach out to anybody. I'm not going to reach out to Picnics. I'm not going to reach out to the Rastas, because I want to make my own name before I actually go in and before I actually go in and get to play with these guys and then have their people look at me. And it actually worked out pretty well for him, I think. I think he's made definitely his own footprint on the Facebook gaming community. So I'll let you talk more about specifically what you decided and why you decided to do that.
So, and like Rasta said, a lot of people that say, I know I could be this amazing streamer, and then dial it down like 50%, because that's really what it is. But you do have those unique people. You do have those people like your Dr. Disrespects and stuff like that who just stand out. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm on that level, but I definitely stand out. Maybe not being in the best way sometimes, but I do stand out. And I always knew I had something different than everybody else. And I felt like, man, I could really become super successful streaming. So March of this year, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna buy everything I need. I did a lot of research, man, a lot of YouTube videos, watching tons of equipments and what mics I need and all this stuff. And while I was doing that in March, getting all my stuff, I was watching Rasta. I was watching Picnic. I was watching Yuppie. Well, not actually, I was watching because you were still Call of Duty time. I was watching all these Call of Duty streamers because I knew that's what I was always good at. And just kind of picking up some tips and tricks. I never said nothing though. I never said, hey, I'm gonna start streaming, here's my page, blah, blah. None of that stuff. But I would always see these small streamers in there always talking, and I would click on their page. I'm like, okay, this guy's got like 500 followers. And then, I would see people, yo, can you raid me? Hey, man, can we play sometime? And like just constantly going and going and going and going. I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy, man. I refuse to be someone to ask for a handout. I refuse to be somebody to use someone else, try to eat off their plate and try to, steal from them or something like that. Or, I want to make my own name. And that's what I did in April when I started. I played with other small streamers my size, a couple hundred followers, and I got up to K, 2K, 3K, and then I started playing with other streamers that were my size. I, got to 4 or 5K. I played with Lawless. I gradually did it as I went. As I grew, I played with some of the bigger guys, and then me and Rasta came across each other. He loved my content. I always loved Rasta, so it was amazing to be able to play with him. And after we played once, we kind of stuck. Like, we just meshed very well. We love joking with each other and laughing and stuff. And then me and Ross ended up playing all the time. And then he put me on to you, right? Like we never had a conversation before, right, Yuppie?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see me in your stream before, ever say anything before we had played together?
No, and I never said anything in yours. I'd been in there.
Yeah, and I have been in your stream. I just did not want to self-promote. I didn't want to say, hey, this is me, this is my gaming page. We should play sometime. Because the truth of the matter is, people are looking for one thing 90% of the time. And when it's to play with a 40K, it's to play with a 50K, it's I want to get some exposure. I know you hold 400 or 500 followers or viewers, so I want to get myself out there. Oh, who's this guy who I'm playing with? Who are you? Because people ask all the time in the chat, who are you playing with? And that's the gist of it. You play with a Picnic or a Y8 or a Rasta, anybody that's huge, and it's like, yo, who are you playing with? Oh, I'm playing with Primetime.
Exactly.
I didn't want that. I wanted to establish myself before I ever gained anything from anyone, because like y'all said, if you can't do it yourself, then you're tricking yourself, honestly, to think like, oh man, I gained all these followers, I'm doing really good. No, you really didn't, because is it really going to generate views in the long run? Are you really going to get supporters and all this other stuff from it, from other communities? And that's the truth of the matter. And as I gradually I'm at 9K now, played with Picnic yesterday, played with Y8 today. I had been in conversation with them. They had been in my stream, and it worked itself out. And I finally played with Picnic and Y8. But look, it took me to almost 10K for that to come to light, because the route I went, and I've been successful, whether people want to believe it, don't believe it. The route I went, I am successful. And now I'm really good friends with Picnic, Y8, Rasta, Yuppie, etc. So, and I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
And I know Rasta remembers when we were starting out, we'd be sitting in the lobby, like looking for people to join up on us. And we'd accidentally leave the fucking lobby open and people would just join in. Oh, I'm playing with these guys tonight. All right, here we go. It's like, nah, you're not. You're definitely not playing with us. And people actually think like that's the way, it's like, I'm just going to jump in and play with you guys. But it's like, it's not even like being, it's kind of like disrespectful in a sense, but it's almost like we're not, we're on a different level now. Like, it's almost like, I don't want to be an asshole, but at the same time, like, no, dude, like chill. Like, what are you doing? So, I mean, it's happened way more times than I can count on my hand too. Like, it's crazy.
And just real quick before I let anybody else talk, that it's self-promotion. When you're in another streamer stream, it don't matter if they're 50K, don't matter if they're 1K. when you are in someone else's stream under your gaming page, unless you play with them on a regular basis and their community knows who you are self-promoting when you go in their stream and you comment under your gamer page, because people are curious and they do want to see who this person is, and they will click on your page, period.
Well,
and you should not do that.
And the thing is,
And,
is
I spoke to Picnic and Y8, who are two of the biggest Call of Duty streamers on this platform, and they both almost never go into anybody's stream under their gaming page. It's always under their actual profile.
Right.
And if they can do it, everybody else can do it.
Right. It's true. And that's what it is. It's like, you know, when people come in to play with you, they're hoping they can pop off, and they're hoping you'll be dead so you can watch them. And then people will be like, oh, who's that guy? You know, who's that guy? I want to go check him out. It's like, all right. I mean, I'm going to tell them who it is, but it's like, you know, it's not about that. Like in the end, it's, you know, we're all like streaming together. If I want to promote you, I will. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily know if I agree with your stream. So I don't rate everybody. I actually try to check out the stream before I actually rate them. Like Nick A30, if you're familiar with him on YouTube, he'll sit there and watch them for about 30, 45 seconds to see if they cuss, because he doesn't promote cussing. You can't, like, you have to agree with the person that you want to raid. So I try to only raid people that I know of, people that I agree with in the streams and stuff like that. So you were gonna say something, Ross?
Yeah, here's also the thing, right? Well, because y'all were talking about people playing with you, waiting for you to die so they could get exposure. I could sit here and share you out all day. You can gain goddamn 1,000 new followers off of my community. But here's the thing: if I'm streaming, you're not getting those views. Why? Because people who have a preferred streamer are always going to watch that preferred streamer over any other smaller streamer.
Oh, yeah.
So you could gain 100, 200, 300 followers off a raid of mine. But if we are streaming simultaneously, that 200, 300, 400 means nothing, because none of them are going to be in your chat.
There's no CCV there.
The person that they came from.
Yeah.
Or even if they're not watching me, they're probably going to be watching somebody else that's a little bit up a tier.
Yeah.
It's not until I'm talking about the board, when it comes to the game, has to be completely wiped before anybody be like, I'm bored, let's go check out somebody else. You know, like I'm telling you.
I mean, that's true, because even when we used to stream together, I'd be holding maybe 100, 150. Rasta gets on, down to 50, down to 30, like boom, just like that. And that was, you know, obviously like people wanted to watch Rasta. I didn't care, you know, it wasn't like it blew my mind or anything. I understood what was going to happen, but it 100% proves his theory that, like, you're not, just because I raid you doesn't mean those 300-400 people are going to come watch you every time. Just because I'm getting 400 people and some of them come over to check you out, don't mean they're going to care about you. You know what I mean? It's not even the skill level. You could be just as good as me, but it's about the entertainment factor. People like the Rasta La Vistas. You know, they want to come over. They want to see it. You know, they like the prime times. They like the roosters. You know, they want to see that content. They like that person. They have a bond with that person. And that's why they do it, man. I mean, that's why people come to watch you. It's like, why do you watch Wheel of Fortune every fucking night, right? Like, because you like Pat Sajak. Like, he's awesome. He's funny. He's fun to watch. The game show is really good. Or maybe you like Vanna White. You know, it doesn't matter, but that's the reason that you go in there. You watch that show, right? So it's you can't just raid people into being big. It's not possible, and it's never gonna be possible. So
my mic was frozen up there.
You're good.
One of the things I was trying to add is there's a difference between networking and self-promotion.
Agreed.
Networking is essential in this business. You have to network, but you don't do that through self-promotion. You don't do that publicly for everybody to see, to gain immediate exposure in that way. You have to do it the correct way.
it's true.
And the difference is, for those wondering, networking is mutual. Self-promotion is not. It's
Right.
as simple as that.
Self-promotion is
When we
disrespectful.
network, we're on the same page. We've had a conversation, or we are planning on having a conversation
It's a
about
handshake.
the best way to do it.
The difference between a handshake and forcing your hand. It's like, here you go, man. I'm here. Check my page out. Oh, by the way,
Let me add on though too. If you look at platforms like Twitch, for instance, since it's the biggest streaming platform, how often, or have you ever seen Dr. Disrespect play with a small streamer?
He plays with people smaller than him, but he plays with the same people.
But how often do you see him play with like up and coming streamers?
Oh no, he never does.
Never does.
Ninja,
he plays with people on his level.
Ninja
how about
doesn't either.
Shroud?
Yeah.
How about Shroud?
Huh.
None of these big guys, and I'm sure there's a ton. Oh my God, I can only imagine. I'm on face. I want to play Dr. Respect so bad. I know Rasta would love to. They don't. I'm sure their inbox is flooded with a ton of small streamers who would love to play with them, and they don't. Most of the time, for those big streamers, you have to be somebody. You have to be ringing names and like ringing bells like with your name, like, yo, this dude's a beast, man. Everybody's talking about it. He's scrolling on Twitch. He's huge. For you to play with someone like that. And at the end of the day, the way I view it and the way I see it is, I'm not saying that bigger streamers can't play with smaller streamers, but I don't necessarily, and you look at the route I went, I don't necessarily think smaller streamers should be reaching out to bigger streamers until they've reached a certain plateau. Until they've reached a couple thousand followers, they hold a certain amount of CCV, a lot of people know who they are, and then you reach out to someone like a Picnic, like, hey man, this is who I am. I don't know if you heard of me. Would love to get some games in you sometime. You know what I'm saying? Not start a page tomorrow with 100 followers and be like, hey, Picnic, hey, Rasta, can I play with you? Because all you're doing is showing like, come on, dude. Like you're honestly just trying to boost yourself up in the beginning. Build something first.
I'll say this. When I came up, when I was growing, me, Exhibit, Triple G, Picnic, Yuppie, we were all like, around the same level, right? Obviously, some of us grew larger than others, but we were all coming up together. And at that time, the biggest person we actually played with was Nitro. And that's because Nitro was doing different things that incorporate smaller people. But like everybody's trying to do this. Everybody's trying to do things out of order and be like, oh, I'm gonna start streaming and automatically try to go for the big guys.
Well, even with that said, I reached out to Nitro when I was really little, and he never wrote me back.
We all actually grew together. Like obviously some at their own rates, but we were still growing. It wasn't like any of us were absolutely blowing the other out of the water.
No.
We actually like came up and started and were promoting each other. Even if like I actually didn't even play with Picnic until later on down the road, but we were still like, he knew who I was, I knew who he was. We were still on the come up together. But everybody's missing that part because a lot of people are like new to the watching streams things, new to the streaming thing, and they just think, oh, I'm a supporter of this person. I'm gonna start streaming now, and I'm gonna play with this person every day, and I'm gonna grow because I'm to this person, and it does not work that way.
No,
like
and that's why I said that's why I did it the way I did it, where I played with people on my level, and as I continued to grow, I played with other people on my level, and I put my name out there, and I kept going bigger and bigger and bigger, and to the point where I'm almost at 10K, and I said, hey, Picnic knew who I was, Wyatt knew who I was, I talked to them, et cetera, and that's when it was, I think that's when it was a time where I said, you know what? Okay, time to play with them. They know who I am. We have conversations all the time. We have some rapport together. I've built my own community. Now I'm going to play with the two big guys. Me and Rasta was a little bit earlier, but that's because me and Rasta developed a relationship, a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like we got, we love each other's content. We have fun playing with each other. That's okay. But you're right. There should be, people need to understand, small streamers need to understand there are levels. Everybody is on a different plateau. You need to start at the bottom and work your way up. You don't just start off in the first 2 weeks and say, Picnic, can I play with you? That's just,
it don't work.
It don't work that way. It honestly doesn't. You need to work on your stream, because I know it's probably not the best off the gate. There's probably tweaking and tuning things that you need to do take baby steps, man. You know, month, 2 months, 3 months in, you're getting your stream right. It's really good quality. You might have changed your camera out, whatever. You know, you added in some transitions, you added in some overlays. You've gained a community. You're holding better CCV. You got a supporter button, da da da. Then you can reach out to, bigger promise, Triple G. Hey, man, this is who I am. I would love to get some games. I've been streaming on Facebook for about 5 or 6 months. Been watching for a while. I would love to get some games with you. Absolutely. And Picnic and Y8 both have told me they love the way I went about it. It was 100% respectable, and they have nothing but respect for the way I went about it. And that's the way it needs to be done, in my opinion.
100%.
It's also a better feeling when you're just.
It is.
I don't mean to cut you off. It's also a better feeling when you're just doing your thing and you just have another streamer or a bigger streamer pop in, maybe even as their regular page. You don't even know. They're like, they say one thing, you find out who it is. It's like, oh, they've noticed me.
I
I'm like,
was.
without me having to do any prior, like I would never. I don't care. Even if I had 100,000 followers, I would never hit about the disrespect. Be like, hey man,
That's not the man to
this is
hit
who
up.
I am.
Listen, I
let me set
was
something up.
I was ecstatic when Triple G came in on his own. Watched me drop a 21 bomb, hit the supporter button, showed mad love. Rasta came in, hit the supporter button, showed mad love. Me and Yuppie got a good rapport. Obviously, Rasta put me on to Yuppie. We were playing a lot of PC games. Yuppie, me and Yuppie play all the time now on PC. A lot of rapport. He came in, hit the supporter button. Picnic came in on his own, hit the supporter button. Y8 came in, hit the supporter button. So to have these bigger streamers, you're right. It felt amazing. I put a post up. I felt so good to get where I got on my own with my own community and had these other big guys come in and show me nothing but absolute pure love. And they smashed the supporter button. It was probably the greatest feeling I've had so far streaming on Facebook is having all the big guys come in and show me love. It's amazing. I did it on my own and they respect it. I'm tingling right now talking about it, just how good it feels. Honestly, how good it feels to have all you guys respect my grind, and show that love. Honestly, it was the greatest feeling in the world streaming on Facebook.
Richard, you gonna add on to that?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Like I never approached anybody. I never played with a streamer bigger than myself. Kane the Pain was the biggest streamer I had played with, and he was on Twitch. Even when I was on YouTube, we started playing there, but he was on Twitch, bigger than me. That was the biggest streamer I played with, and I was like around 900, and 28 hours into a stream, and this Kane guy comes in and starts trolling me, and I'm like, dude, I'm almost 30 hours deep in the stream. I'm playing like trash. Like, why you got to talk crap? It was Exhibit, and he approached me, and he offered to share me, and thanks to some people reaching out to him and telling him about me, he came and looked, and he approached me, and the next thing I know, he's like, here, jump in some games. That felt so good and so real, and it was definitely that feeling of accomplishment, and that's what I want. Not, and I know that people have felt it when they've reached out to streamers over and over. When are we going to play? When are we going to play? When are we going to play? And then when you do play, it almost feels like they just feel obligated to play with you because you it's going to over and over. And it's so much better of a feeling when it happens naturally. And the same thing goes for sponsorships or any of that stuff, man. You're going to get noticed or not, and it's going to happen. And these bigger streamers, these other people are going to reach out to you as long as you're on your grind, you're improving your content, and you're doing your thing, and don't worry about the other stuff. Just let it happen.
Agreed.
A lot of people say I don't have time for it to happen. Then it's not the business for you, probably. not solely the business for you anyway.
I mean, if you're on that level, you'll get recognized. I had people come into my chat, and the reason that me and Ross even met was because people were coming into my chat and saying, "Hey, go check out the stream team. Check out these guys, man. They're awesome, right?" You remember them? And Ross was a part of that at the time, and so I was like, "All right, I'll go check them out. Go check them out." And I happened to pop up Ross's chat one day, and I came in. I don't even think I was on my Yuppie Killer name. I think it was on my real name, and I was just watching him play, and he was just smashing. But the team he was with, they weren't doing the greatest or whatever. It was like he was kind of standing out. And I was like, dude, we should play together sometime. And we kind of went from there. And since then, we had, like you said, the Triple G's, we had Exhibit, and we were all kind of like this little family of like in the same level. And it was almost like a race as to who was going to get, the furthest, fastest, right? And they all.
When you reached out to Rasta, though, what was both of you guys' size?
About the same. I think we were about 2,000-3,000, something like that. Wasn't big. Yeah. And I was like, he's definitely got potential. I mean, the backdrop, like, it was so funny. Like, we had the green backdrop. It was a fake green screen, right? Like one of the cameras, it's like a Logitech that comes with like I could put a fake green screen.
Oh, the chroma key.
It's like an auto chroma key or something. Yeah. And this man would hit his vape or whatever, and that shit would just pop up green behind him, but then it would go away after like the smoke went away. That shit was hilarious. So like for a while he had that for like 2 months or whatever, and then he was like, boom, just upgraded to a green screen. And that's where that whole like upgrade your stream. Like if you're gonna get to the next level, you're not gonna get there by being the same.
I just think ultimately at the end of the day, what the issue is with small streamers, you see a lot of people pass you. You started 7 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, and you've seen a lot of people pass you who started after you. You see people who you started with blow up, and it's probably a feeling that sucks. To know you put in this many hours and you've grinded this hard and you haven't gone anywhere. And it's unfortunate,
it's wicked.
But it's a business at the end of the day. And that's just the
way
it works. Everyone's not going to grow at the same rate. Everyone's not going to blow up fast. You will hit standstills at some point. And some people will go nowhere.
Most people will go nowhere.
And people need to understand that. I've built my stream on being blunt and honest and not sugarcoating nothing. A lot of Facebook streamers are going to go nowhere. Take it how you want. I could have said it nicer, whatever, but it's the truth. Know that most of you will go nowhere. Not saying that you can't make some extra bucks income a month. Not saying you can't have fun with other streamers and have fun with your community. That stuff will always be there. But most of you will not become full-time streamers and do this for the job, as your job every single day. That's just not the case. Look at how many Twitch streamers try and fail over and over, and they switch to Mixer and they fail, and they switch to YouTube and they fail. Understand and realize that if you do not put out unique content, unbelievable content, whether it be gameplay or entertainment, comedy, whatever it is, the likelihood that you blow, slim to none. And accept that and know that and understand that. And hopefully you take that and maybe you change your stream. Maybe you add that better camera.
Go ahead.
How are you doing? Hopefully you upgrade that better camera. Hopefully you add a better screen, green screen. Hopefully you upgrade your internet or get a better PC, whatever it is, add some more content or you will get blown by a lot of people.
Giggity.
And that's not to say
that ends me.
Go out and spend $6,000 on a setup, like to get started, is not the answer either. Like,
no, it's not.
It's not about just having everything off the rip and instant stardom. It helps. It definitely helps. It's a whole lot easier, more convenient.
It does. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you really spend on it. It's you as the entertainer. Whatever you're doing. To be honest with you, like when Picnic first came out, like I didn't really, in my mind, I was like, he's not very fun to watch because he's literally just shitting on all these lobbies. But like as an entertainer, he wasn't really killing it. You know what I mean? And he's actually come into his own recently. But like he is actually probably one of the top 3 best players in the world. Has to be guaranteed. And that's why people like watching him, because he goes into a lobby and he just absolutely shits on it. And I get that now. You don't have to be funny. You don't even have to be like entertaining in any way whatsoever if you're good at the game. You know what I mean? And that's why when people come into my chat, they say,
Not-
hey, you know,
not good,
But
amazing.
wait, there's
amazing.
more. You have to be a god, okay?
But you have to be
Yeah.
a god, right? That's the
That's what I'm
trade
talking
off.
about. Like you
That's the
can't.
trade off.
People get this misunderstanding. Like if you're just good, I'm good at the game. I'm gonna blow up too. No, you have to be a god.
Yeah,
you better
there's-
be a
there's-
god. I'm
You
talking
got to
about
be a god.
level
If you're
picture.
gonna make it off of just gameplay and nothing, work picnic level. You have to be YA picnic. You need to be arguably one of the best players in the world at the game that you play. If you can sit on the same plateau as hundreds of other people, no, that don't count.
It's what it is. Like, and I've kind of built my way off of my entertainment. Rooster's built his way off his entertainment. You know, we're not gonna sit here and pretend like we're the best players. Not even close, right? I'm not even near top 1,000. You know what I mean? Top 2,000 probably on a big game like that. Which, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm funny, right? like we always have
You
a
are
lot of
funny.
fun. We have a lot of fun,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's it.
So at the end of the day, either be entertaining, be really good at the game, or just fuck it, be both, right?
and like I love people. Like I love interacting with the family, with the community. And that interaction plays a huge role in it for me too. And I know a lot of people are like that. But to tie everything together, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And it's going to take a lot more work for me to go anywhere. And I haven't made it. Like I don't consider myself to be successful yet. To really be successful, it's going to continue to take a lot of work. And people just don't understand until they're in it how much goes into this and how much it truly is a job. That's not a complaint. I love every second of it, but it really, really is a job around the clock, 7 days a week. Yuppies Post said it. You're gonna miss time with your family, your kids. Like you're gonna miss out on so many things to truly make this your job, your career, whatever you want to call it. It takes all of that, and to tie everything together, it's so hard. It really, really is hard. Exhausting, but extremely rewarding too when it's done the correct way.
Yeah. If you're going to be successful in any way whatsoever, you're going to sacrifice your personal life. Ross has done it. I've done it.
What personal life?
That's what I'm saying.
I will say this though.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say this. A lot of small streamers are watching this, listening, whatever, and they're probably discouraged. They probably, you know, they probably feel like shit. Don't like what we're saying. Don't agree. Don't want to hear it. Welcome to streaming. It's not easy. By no means. Do not look at anybody's success and think off the rip you're going to imitate that success, or you should expect to imitate that success. Make it yours, and don't hold high expectations. Don't expect anything. Take everything with a grain of salt, and goddamn, just go with the flow. Enjoy it at the end of the day. But the biggest thing is to don't have any big expectations from streaming, because you will be rudely
Awakening.
mistaken, awakened, upset. You will probably cry yourself to sleep.
Well, I think it's a reality check, honestly. Like, you know, it's not. If anybody's going to tell you the truth, it's going to be us. We're not here to make you feel like anybody can make it. A lot of people, most people won't make it. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that you won't make it. That's just saying that most people won't make it. So if you think you're on the track and you think we're talking about you, if you think, you know, you're doing the wrong things, if it seems like things are going nowhere, your numbers are looking bad, look at a different game. All right. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing wrong, and watch your own streams. You know, is your audio shit? Like, what is it that is bad for you, and how can you fix it, and how can you go forward from here on out? Because there is, like you said, there's a lot of small streamers, and most of you guys are either, you know, just coming up, just got into it, or hell, maybe you've been doing it for 6 years, and you're like, how the hell are these guys passing me up? Well, you don't just ask that question. Ask about yourself, because it's you that's the issue. It's not us. Like, just because we're doing something right doesn't mean that, that we're wrong. So what are you gonna say?
This shouldn't be viewed as anything but informative. You know
Agreed.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's not to shit on anybody. It's not to
No.
disrespect anybody. It's not to make you feel bad. It's to tell you the truth
The main reason
You
we're
know?
having this conversation is because we had this conversation in private, and we were like, you know
all the
what?
time.
I feel like people should know what we're saying. All right.
Mhm.
So most everything we talked about, we've already kind of talked about it before a little bit, just a little bit more in depth now with you guys to watch. And I hope that people have taken away, we're not out to get anybody. We're out to give you a reality check. So we hope that small streamers will push forward and see what we've said and kind of push forward with what they have going on and get whatever that's the monkey wrench in the gear set that they have right now that's stopping them, pull it out and figure it out and fix it. Right. And that's what we hope you'll do. And we hope you'll be successful because of it. Because none of us really care, like, if you fail or win. You know what I mean? It's not our job to help you be successful. It's your job.
I'm not the streamer police.
Right. It's not our job to care. Like, nobody wants to see you fail. It's not that. It's not like that. But you probably will if you do not fix what you're going to do in the future. So that's kind of why we had this conversation. We actually wanted to talk a little bit about Call of Duty and the blackout, but I think we'll say that for the next time, because we're kind of running into about an hour now. I think we're going to do full hours with these things. It'll be perfect. Prime Time is definitely going to have a new camera next time we do this for sure. And this will be.
If I can get it to work, it was working like half work. It looked too.
But other than that, I think this was a pretty good discussion as far as where we were
So
going.
at the end of the day, ultimately, stop. If you're doing it or you're thinking about doing it, don't buy follows, don't buy views. It's corny to do it. Everyone who is a successful streamer,
Wait. Or go ahead and do it, but just know you'll be struggling to make back the money you spent on it. While you're streaming.
$700 in the hole. What?
Do what you want to do.
We notice
Honestly,
it.
Buy those follows, but good luck.
But we notice it. We see it.
That's
We
it.
can tell when you're doing it. That if you're thinking about playing with someone, they're gonna see that and be like, nope, this guy's trying to cheat his way to the top. We don't want it. So don't buy follows. Don't buy views. It makes you look bad, and the likelihood is no one's gonna want to network with you. And then stop self-promoting. Stop going into other people's streams, especially if they're exponentially bigger than you, and commenting under your gaming page to try and gain something. Be respectful. That's it.
I mean, that's primetime chat. You could comment on the gaming page of mine. It's probably not going to help you as much as you think it is, you know. And I see you guys sending stars as gaming pages too.
Yeah, I don't
cool and
personally
all,
care if people.
But me saying your name is not going to help you grow.
Yeah.
Just saying. But that's the reality of it. So
Yeah, it's not like
do what you want.
if you're reaching out to talk to, like, if you're reaching out to me to like play games, hey man, we should play sometime in my chat with your thing. It's like it's a little cringy. But at the same time,
I had
like,
the conversation with Wyatt and Picnic. If you want to play with them, the worst way to do it is to go in their chat and ask them. I've already had a conversation with them. They already told me. If you want to play with a streamer, the correct way to do it, don't matter what size they are, the correct way to do it is to message them. That's
It's
it.
so uncomfortable when people come in, and I've had this conversation with my chat over and over. It's not that I don't want to play with people, but we come into our stream with somewhat of a plan. At least I'm kind of scatterbrained, but whatever. Somewhat of a plan. This is what we've kind of got in mind for tonight, and then you get bombarded with, "Hey, let me be your fourth. Hey, I want to play." Hey, I appreciate it. I'm grateful that you guys want to play with me. Whatever. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling to know that, but it puts us in a really uncomfortable public spot to
Shut
have
up,
to
Walter.
say no over and over and over and over, because we've already got something going on. Shoot us a message, show up on follower nights, show up on supporter nights, and get the games in that way. Show us who you are and come back and play some more.
Or you could keep asking me, and I'll just find creative ways to say no.
Yeah, some of us don't mind saying no, but I have a problem saying no.
Thankfully for you, you play like really late at night when everybody's asleep. So
Right. Good stuff.
I think we should wrap it up, man. I think this was a great speech. So we'll talk about doing this on a scheduled, maybe like once or twice a week. What do you guys think? Have some guests and stuff like that. I think it'd be great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Might need to look at a different style. I don't know if Skype's gonna work out. It's quality, but I don't know about the.
Could be better.
I don't know about like where
Yeah.
the cameras are set and all that kind of stuff. Kind of. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But
Yeah, like I'm upside down.
you're not upside down on my eyes.
Yeah.
That's weird. All right, let's wrap it up. I'm gonna go ahead and end with that, and I'll probably get on a game here in a little bit, a couple hours or whatever. And yeah, prime time. Your camera there's a.
But it hasn't messed up on Roosters or my screen.
Yeah. No, it hasn't messed up on mine at all.
But I seen it happen on Rasta and yours. 'Cause I was checking out your streams and I seen it.
Okay. Oh, you see it?
I'll be DSLR after the game. So
That's crazy, right? now.
whatever.
Looks like a whole. Somebody said you look like a guy from Nickelback for one time, and
Don't be hating on my hair. Don't be hating on my hair. It's luxurious. It's luxurious. I got all the curlies out. Yeah, I know.
all right, I'm gonna mute out. I'm gonna send these guys out, and good talk. Good talk.
Yeah.
Peace out, guys.
Cool. Excellent speeches that we had right there. So we'll go back and we'll do this on a regular basis. I think some of you guys are, smaller streamers. Some of you guys are bigger streamers. Maybe you guys agreed with what we were saying. I think that in the end, it's just kind of something that needed to be said. And I think, from now on, like most of the podcasts that we have won't exactly be, that hard, that harsh. I think it was a little, a little controversial, but in the end, it all works out. So you guys will, have to deal with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down. It was great. I'm actually recording this as well, so I'll put it on YouTube so you guys can go back and watch it if you want for future reference. Kelly, thank you for the 500. By the way, let me catch up real quick. Somebody else dropped 500. Nick, thank you for the 500. If you're still in here, appreciate that. And you guys are awesome tonight, man. Dante Ledbetter with the 6 months. Gustavo De Castro with the 4 months. Appreciate that, my guy. And Crossing, thank you guys. Everybody who came out to hang out, man. Good numbers, and I appreciate everybody who watched tonight. We will see you guys very soon. I'm going to shut this thing down, and we will get into some GTA here within a couple hours or so. I'm going to probably take a small break because I've been streaming for a little bit. Good stuff. GG's. Thank you guys. Have a good night, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Yeah. Wait. Whoop.
Ooh.